Welcome back to The Final Gaze. My name is Harrison.
And I'm Toby.
And it's our second episode, and we're already lying to you. We're not going to be covering Jordan Peele's Get Out.
Was it a lie or was it a secret surprise, Harrison? And we were just fooling the audience or the listeners.
Yeah, a while ago.
I think that was my plan all along.
Oh, you're just secretly surprising everyone?
Even myself.
You're a secret surpriser. That's what you are. But no more surprises. We're going to try to adhere to this schedule. But, when we started this podcast, actual episode 1, season 1, episode 1, I had suggested to you that we cover movies we covered on Talk Some Horror. I wanted to talk about From Dusk Till Dawn. I wanted to talk about Scream. I don't want to talk about Halloween.
No, that's the one caveat you don't want to. But you want to talk about all the other ones.
Yeah, which we didn't watch all the Screams. We didn't watch all the From Dusk Till Dawns. We watched all the Halloweens, and I don't want to talk about Halloween. But I figured covering From Dusk Till Dawn would be fun because I think you and I had a different way of doing things, and I didn't understand why you didn't want to.
And with From Dusk Till Dawn, we reviewed the movie and then also did a commentary for it, so it was like twice.
We did do a commentary for it. Wow.
Wherever that's at.
Corey, give us the file. I'll give you the file. I want to listen.
I don't think it was even finished, was it? Did we actually finish that?
I quite forget, to be honest. The only commentary I remember trying was with the Bye Bye Man, and he told us to be quiet.
The From Dusk Till Dawn commentary was very catfighty.
Yeah.
We were all kind of bitching at each other.
That's where the seeds of whatever.
Dissent.
Yeah, the seeds of dissent were planted. But, I actually finally understand how you felt about wanting to re-record an episode of a movie we already, quote-unquote, talked about. Because while we're not going to be covering Get Out, we're going to tell you exactly what happened. I think it was always inevitable that both parties are going to fuck up. I had my fuck up a while ago with Alien.
A couple of them.
Yeah,
sure.
A couple of them. And was this your
Alien,
first?
you forgot. Yes, this is my first. Alien, you forgot to record half of the episode.
Yeah. So.
And then you forgot to record the video for another one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, multiple ones. And we're recording. Yeah, we're recording video right now. So, yeah, Toby made a boo-boo. I think you thought you recorded half of it, but then you actually didn't record none of it.
Anything.
It was crazy, and I was so sad because the Get Out conversation was actually really cool.
See, and I'll be honest, I thought it was a weaker conversation.
Really?
I feel like our conversation for us was so much better.
Oh yeah. When compared to us, like we were actually prepared. And I was so unprepared for Get Out because I just watched it.
Which is weird because us was like we had to record, we had a time crunch, a very specific amount of time to record, and it ended up being really good. And for Get Out, we had as much time as we needed, but
I don't know. It was just really. Oh, well, it's lost to time. The only thing that exists is my half of the conversation. So it's unfortunate. But
you can listen to it and guess what I'm saying.
But here we are, actual episode 2, and we are covering something really, really unexpected. Really random and unexpected. So, Toby, I'm going to let you take this over. So,
well, due to our fatigue with not really wanting to cover Get Out, we had planned to redo it, as Harrison said. Me and Brian, I read an article about Shadow in the Clouds, the new Chloe Grace Moretz movie, right?
Whoa.
Ew. But I read an article that said, or maybe I saw a tweet or something that saying, give it a chance. It's really fun. And so I read a synopsis, but I didn't watch the trailer. So I had really no fucking idea what I was getting into. And me and Brian just needed something to watch. And so I put it on, completely expecting it to be a complete piece of shit, making fun of Carrie the whole time. And I was pleasantly surprised. So much so that I immediately texted Harrison afterwards being, To be fair, I did have a couple
To be
glasses
fair.
of wine at the moment, but I also was like, "Holy fuck, you need to watch this movie, super great." Blah blah blah, and I'm not, don't watch a trailer or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now Harrison, not ever turning down a challenge to watch a movie, paid for it
This is where I'll take over.
with his life.
I trust Toby. I really do. We have a lot of similar tastes. So, let me first start by saying, Toby greatly dislikes Chloe Grace Moritz. I'm pretty sure we'll get into why. I don't understand why. I'm hoping by the end of this episode, me and the audience will understand.
And I hope I will too. I feel like I really just need to talk it out to understand.
See, who would have thought? Toby's Therapy Corner on Toby himself about Chloe Grace Moritz.
I think it needs to be done.
And it will today. So I trust Toby. So when Toby talks up a movie starring an actress he doesn't really like, it made me genuinely curious. So curious that I bought this movie digitally.
Hold on a second. So I'm watching the movie too, like you do.
Uh-huh.
I have it up on the computer. And right when you said I bought it, the douchebag Irish guy, the bald dude, goes so I wasn't even watching the screen, but he went and looked right where you were, like a Brady Bunch thing, as soon as you said I bought it, and he had the exact reaction that we all did.
Oh my!
That I did when he said that he bought it.
Yeah, you have to know me personally.
I knew the temptation would just drive you wild. You wouldn't be able to sleep, wondering how could he like this movie?
No, exactly. I had to see what the fuss was. I had to see what Toby was talking about. So. Yeah, and like I said, you have to know me to understand I am a huge proprietor of physical media. It takes a lot for me to buy a movie digitally. I'll buy movies that I know are never going to get a Blu-ray release.
He hoards movies like...
Oh, yeah, I am a
Thorin
hoarder.
Oakenshield hoards gold. We just watched through all the Lord of the Rings.
Physical media.
So my mind is just
one single movie.
Ridiculous. My mind is swarming with Middle Earth, me and Brian, constant references.
Yeah. So it's just I bought it, and you know what? Little spoilers ahead of my thought. It was literally the most okayest movie I've seen. And when it was over, I think I texted you. I'm like, it was good, but I don't think it was $29 digital purchase good. I felt.
Nor did I say it was. I just said it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. But again, you chose the. I don't know. Awesome and Chloe Grace Moritz do not go together in your vocabulary. So I was like, okay, there's something here.
And I wonder as we work through it if it's. I hope we can agree on Chloe Grace Moretz, at least in the movie. I mean, I know you never had a hate for her, but I hope this is an instance where I actually like her and you're like, this is the worst she's ever been.
Oh, no. Referencing Get Out.
Yeah.
I love Chloe Grace Moritz.
He's never gonna let that go.
No, that's gonna be our new Black Christmas.
Sticky. Oh, Black Christmas, yes.
My solo Black Christmas. No, I love Chloe Grace Moritz. Actually, even to this day, I haven't really seen her in a role I hated her in. Except maybe for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Maybe.
I don't even remember her in that.
Yeah, she was on the first one.
Okay.
But no, I've always loved Chloe Grace Moritz. So I was in. And in fact,
I was not.
Yeah, and I haven't really seen her in much lately. I can't think of a movie that wasn't like Kick-Ass or anything that she was in recently.
She's doing more like indie stuff. I'm noticing like more dramas. I think she's fishing for that award.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
She's looking, and I think she's long overdue. But maybe it might be too soon for her.
Yeah, maybe, and I think she's also trying to find roles that aren't being a teeny bopper.
Yeah,
like normal. I feel like Carrie was the last time she wanted to play a teenager, and I know she has since, but like they all seem more like adult roles, like rated R. You know.
Wow. Yeah, I totally forgot. She played the voice of Wednesday in the Addams Family.
Didn't see it.
Yeah.
Specifically because of her.
Yeah. I always forget the movie Greta. I remember I watched that.
Is it good?
I mean, yeah.
I think you have that, don't you? No, maybe you don't. It's on Prime.
No. I didn't buy it. I didn't like it so much that I bought it. But I always forget also that she had a very small role, a very prominent small role. But she was in Suspiria.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? She disappears in that role so much that I didn't hate her.
Yeah.
She's actually pretty good. I forget that was her. Good job, Chloe.
And the one movie that I've always wanted to watch of hers was The Miseducation of Cameron Post, where she plays either
a lesbian
or transgender. I don't know. I only want to watch it because that native guy from The Revenant is in there, and I'm always a big fan of him. Wow, yeah, I always forget about that stuff.
Oh, The Revenant. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio's son. So yeah, no, I never really, I never hated Chloe Grace Moretz, and I've been a huge fan of her since Let Me In, actually.
That's when I started hating her.
Oh God, because that was like her second or third role.
That was like her breakthrough role, though.
Yeah. Reaver, it was Kick-Ass. That was her breakthrough.
Oh,
yeah, that put her
okay.
in the spotlight.
I guess you're right. I hated her in that too.
Oh, I loved her in that. She stole the show, but that's for another podcast.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Let's not get into it.
Let Me In was my favorite movie of hers because, well, yeah, there's a lot to talk about that whenever we do cover that, because I love both of those actors in the movie, the two child actors. I love the director Matt Reeves, and I love the music by Michael Giacchino. So huge fan of her since. So that's why it was really easy for me to dive into this movie. And just like as you suggested, I didn't watch a trailer. I didn't even read the synopsis. You told me to go in blind, and I went in as blind as possible.
And I feel like that was the best, right? The best.
It was, because I had no idea first of all, I didn't even know it was like a period piece. I think I maybe glimpsed the poster briefly,
but it could be any action movie, right?
Yeah, it had like the teal and green, or the teal and orange motif going on there. So I was like, okay, I don't know. She was, even looking at the poster now from a distance, probably from the distance that I saw, it looks like she's a pilot. So I was like, okay, that could be a modern thing or whatever. But, I didn't know where the movie was going. I didn't know what was happening. And that helped, and I was getting Cube vibes for a second, not in its, not like, torture and traps and whatnot, but for a second,
like the confined space.
Yeah, for a second, I really, really thought that this whole movie was going to take place in that whatever, the bottom part, the
gun
cockpit
turret
at the bottom. Yeah, the gun turret at the bottom of the plane, which I was not opposed to, but I'm glad that the action went out of that.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But for all the scenes that were happening in the gun turret, I was really into it. Now, as you know, and I'll always tout this, the one thing that works for this movie is the sound design. Because
I will agree.
Because all the scenes in the gun turret area they come to life with the sound mix. The rustle of whatever's in the plane. Wink, wink. The engines, the gunfire, the all that stuff. The voices that are coming from the headphones. So it literally puts you in the seat of that character, and I was all for it. Buried would have been another terrific example too.
I hated that fucking movie. I was so pissed when I realized the credits were about to roll and he never got out of the box.
Yeah. So fortunately, that's a case of we need to get out of this, But this, yeah.
What's in the box? Get out of the box.
So yeah, I don't know where do we begin? Like,
maybe start with. Well, I do want to say, and I don't know if you noticed this, but just piggybacking off of your audio sound design,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's such a like audiobook quality. Like you could turn this into an audio drama with. It's like the first 40 minutes of the movie is just her in the little sphere talking to everyone above, and you like most of the movie those actors aren't in it. They're in the very beginning and then the very, very end. I mean, what, 60 seconds per person maybe screen time. So most of them you're getting just of them talking through the radio. And I feel like even just the audio of their exchanges through the radio is so exciting just to hear. I don't know, I felt like that added some kind of something. I felt like I was in there with her, not being able to, like, they never cut back to show what was happening. Now, I think maybe it was budgetary reasons. They kind of do weird things that she's imagining, like stage play. It was very stagey, I felt.
Yeah, and that all worked to its advantage, and it's great because, except for some janky blue screen work, green screen work, the film visually looks great.
And I think it's because they didn't have to hire anyone to fucking be in the movie but Chloe for most of it.
And, you know, what I found really awesome is, about maybe a good 75-80% of the movie is spent in this gun turret area. They didn't make it look boring. You know, it's almost like not the same angle was like, it was multiple angles to make it give from different perspectives, and you never got bored of her just being in this cockpit.
It was very dynamic. They were able to make it look spooky, like really spooky, with her looking out into the clouds and the lightning and things like that. And then I think just like everything's constantly janking around. You feel like it's about to fall out from under the plane. So I was already worried for her. Although my worry for her started much earlier when she first meets the crew. Those pieces of shit. So I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, let's talk about the crew. Let's talk about those walking pieces of shit.
Those, whoever they are, deserved everything that came to them. I was getting so angry for her for most of this movie. I don't know, misogyny. Obviously we're talking about misogyny. Like the way that the flight crew treats her as a woman is just disgusting. Like one, they're talking about her, you know, fucking her and things like that over the radio when they don't think she's listening. But then even when they realize she's listening, they continue. Like it doesn't change at all. Not
at all. And I have something to say about that too, because the movie isn't perfect, but I suppose what it does capture is going to be the quote unquote locker room talk that was probably way more prevalent, like worse probably than this, or maybe on par in the 40s, in 1940, you know, with World War II. Oh yeah, this is set in World War II.
Yep, 1942, I think. Could be wrong. Yep.
Yeah, everyone on that, and even our supposed hero is a piece of shit because, well, I guess we'll save the spoilers.
I guess we don't have to save them. I mean, she turns out to be a complete fucking liar as well.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get on, was that, they should have never, ever said the things she said about her. But I guess for period accuracy, I mean, that's probably the way men looked at women.
And then when they started accusing her of being a spy or things like that, it's like, well, actually, they turned out to kind of be right on that. Like it was a completely double life that she was leading. Was it a shock to you to find out that she knew someone on the plane?
Yeah, no, it did, because a lot of things were going through my mind. A lot of things were, because first off, I guess the plot-wise, in the beginning of the movie, she is on a mission to bring something of the most important thing ever to exist
super
in
top
the world.
Secret.
Yeah, to somewhere. What's that thing called again? Very prevalent.
MacGuffin?
MacGuffin. You know, we have a MacGuffin. Needs to get there. It's fucking important. And even when she like freaking peeks in the box, it's like a little side satchel box thing. It's like glowing. So you're like, huh.
Yeah, I was like, it's a diamond. It's some kind. For the first half of the movie, I was thinking it's a weapon, or it's whatever's gonna draw the sci-fi element to the plane.
Yeah, it's sand from the Ark of the Covenant. You know, it's the thing that was in the briefcase.
It's a raptor egg.
Yeah, a raptor egg. So that caught me by surprise because I was, as we always like to joke, what's in the box?
Mm-hmm.
And when we find out what's in the box, I mean, yeah, I was all like, oh, fuck, this just... It changed a lot of things for me, but it also kind of equally lowered the stakes and also raised them.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if it lowered the stakes, as in if it had been like a nuclear bomb or something, and the whole time they didn't know it was counting down. Yeah, but when I saw that it was a baby, I almost went like, oh, it's gonna be some like motherhood story, blah blah blah, and I almost started to get disappointed. But they used the baby to torture you for the whole time. Like, there's this meme I always see of like National Geographic that's like, oh, here's a frog. Fall in love with the frog. Do you love the frog? Yes. Now it's in mortal danger. It's like that.
Yeah. I remember I felt that with that one, I think it was a goat or something that fell off a cliff. And they just kept following it, and it kept hitting rocks. I'm like, why aren't you cutting away? I become emotionally attached to this goat, and it's plummeting to its death.
Did it get
slow
away?
motion. No, it fucking fell off a cliff.
I thought maybe, I don't know, it was rescued.
Oh, but no, it fucking got its shit handed to him. But, I was just thinking, like, the film did a great job of just making this MacGuffin a thing. I was like, oh my god, I kept thinking bigger. It's a weapon. It's a staff of a Monroe or something. It's the Book of the Dead. It's a nuclear weapon. Oh, and it's
a baby.
Spoilers. It's a baby.
The
Her
most
baby.
important thing of all.
That's when the story instantly, for me at least, switched from being something spooky and paranormal to a human story. And there are spooky things, and we'll get into that. But like, as far as that little whole storyline goes,
the stakes were human.
Yeah.
Right? That's like human drama. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
What is Nick Robinson doing in this movie?
Yeah, Nick Robinson
that.
had some time on his hands, and I guess maybe Chloe Grace Moretz called in a favor from their time on The Fifth Wave together.
Oh yeah, she was like, I noticed after Love, Simon, you haven't gotten that much work. Do you want to come be on my tiny film for 5 seconds? Because this is all like Chloe Grace Moretz all over this movie. I feel like she probably has been with this production for a while, like making this her movie, like a vehicle for her.
Probably, which the genesis of this project is pretty interesting too.
Max Landis, the biggest douchebag ever.
Yeah, and in case you don't know who Max Landis is, he is the son of really famous 80s director John Landis, who you may or may not know was fully 100% responsible for the death of 3 people on one of his sets. Of course, we're referring to the Twilight Zone incident where legendary film actor Vic Morris and 2 little children were, there's no way around it, beheaded by helicopter blades. So there was already...
Wonderful.
Yeah,
on his hands.
There already is a negative
Stigma?
connotation behind the Landis name. So here comes his son, Max Landis. All right, great. He's a filmmaker too. But of course, he was accused of sexual assault? Or just inappropriate
sexual
shit.
harassment
Sexual
allegations
harassment
is what it says officially.
Yeah. And if it's one thing you got to know about this film, is that the director is named Roseanne Liang. I could be saying that last name wrong, but this was a female-driven film, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. So the fact that this happened, they completely separated themselves from him and rewrote majority of his script, which is what it is today.
Now, when I saw that Max Landis wrote the original, I was like, this, I can see it. Like, I can see this conceit, this like high concept, small budget film, basically. Then it says it's rewritten several times, almost completely. That makes me want to... I really want to know what... I bet we could find it, the original script, or what the original story was.
I know you have your ways.
Interested in finding out what that was before it was massively rewritten.
Mm-hmm. Which, and I'm not hating the script at all. I actually really like a lot of moments, a lot of more moments for me. So, but I mean, honestly though, where the script falls apart is one of those instances of how far can you extend your, what is that?
Concept?
No, something of disbelief.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yes. How long can you extend your suspension of disbelief?
And I totally recognize that issue with this movie too. I feel like the moment you know it's a gremlin, you just kind of let it go.
Yes. Shall we get into that now?
Yeah. So
first thing I noticed, I was like, okay, there's a cute little cartoon, and then the moment the word gremlin was said,
yeah.
I guess I should have known. I mean, well, I did know. It is being promoted as an action horror movie, so this is the horror element. And okay, I'm all for this. All right, and I love that the little cartoon animated character looks like
the
Dick
actual
Miller.
gremlin.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cute. But yeah, no, in the movie Gremlins, well, this is obviously not a gremlin from Gremlins.
No, and it it was hard for me to use that word, and every time they said it, I just wanted Spike to come riding through or something.
With the Gremlins theme playing.
Yes. Now, what if the exact same movie, right? But when it shows the gremlin, it is actually a gremlin from Gremlins, and it's like a prequel or something.
Yeah, see now that would be pretty awesome. I honestly think that I would have liked it.
And Gizmo's in the bag. Oh my god.
Can you imagine this was a secret Gremlin sequel? I mean, it wouldn't be as far-fetched as the actual sequel we got, you know?
That is actually very true.
Just think of it. Well, no, it wouldn't make sense, but the Gremlin in this movie... Would it have
to, though?
No, because given how crazy Gremlins 2, the new batch, got, it's easy to assume that this Gremlin in this movie looked very similar to the Gremlin bat hybrid from the sequel.
It did. At least its wings.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they succeeded in differentiating their design? Because when they were working on the design, they were like, we have to do everything complete opposite from Gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they succeeded?
I think they succeeded. I think that one thing I liked is the fact that, yes, it's an independent movie, and this movie was clearly made in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So you can already imagine indie filmmakers aspiring or being inspired by their filmmaking god, Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson. Weta Workshop.
Exactly. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's probably never ever gonna be confirmed or not, but the gremlin in this movie bears a shocking similarity to a older, more mature Sumatran rat monkey from Dead Alive.
It also looks just like one of the bats from Skull Island.
Oh.
Almost the same thing.
So it's interesting, something's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clearly drawn from a lot of unintentional sources, and I'm all for that. I'm all for it being a Gremlins prequel. I'm all for it being in the King Kong universe. I'm all for all these movies being in the same universe. So Gremlins
what
versus
if they had
Godzilla
crashed on Skull Island.
Oh, see now if it ended that way, like a Deep Rising ending.
Yes, that ending pisses me off still.
Mm-hmm.
Only because we didn't get a sequel.
Yes, come on, you made sequels to 90s properties. Like we got the third Deep Blue Sea that came out last year, right?
Where's my Deep Rising
2
Amazon Prime series?
Come on. And we're getting an Event Horizon show.
Yeah.
Another 90s property. We're getting sequels to Top Gun, Maverick. We're getting we got our 7th Tremors sequel.
7th? Why not a Welcome to Dante's Peak, where it's just about the townsfolk before the volcano goes,
Nobody wants to see that.
Come on. I would love to see the mayor's break up with her husband, and the drama.
Worst ratings ever. Nobody wants to watch that.
We'll see who we get cast.
Oh my gosh! Then Linda Hamilton will make the cameo like she did in Terminator.
She plays
Dark
the volcano. She'll do the motion capture for the volcano.
No, just no. Don't no. Ridiculous idea. No. But yeah, no, the Gremlin. I think the Gremlins. When we first see just glimpses of the Gremlin, it's super effective because I was getting, much like his father, I was getting Twilight Zone vibes from that one part of his movie where there's something on the wing of the plane with John Lithgow. So, I think it was effective that way. But when you realize it's a giant fucking bat who has some weird vendetta against this lady.
That's right. This just wants to kill her specifically. It feels like.
No.
Like everyone else is just like, everyone else is just like in the way.
Yeah, kill her.
That thing is like practically does you.
Yeah.
Through the glass.
Kill her. No, she wants to hurt her and then kill her. Because this thing...
Just fuck with her a bit, huh?
Oh, God, yeah. This thing is monstrous and... This isn't just an animal. It's a fucking psychopath.
It's a demon.
Yeah, we have a, Lake Placid situation here. What was that movie we covered? Oh, yeah, we had, the sharks. But we had a thing where, this animal's a psychopath. It's not just a normal animal. It has a vendetta.
The anacondas were psychopaths.
Oh, the anacondas were psychopaths. That was it. This
serial killer anacondas.
This fucking bat gremlin thing is a devious little shit. And of course, for people who haven't seen Gremlins, which of course, why wouldn't you? If you haven't, stop what you're doing, go watch it now. A gremlin, to our good friend Dick Miller, is something like the movie treated it as like the Gremlins movie at least treated it like a little creature that would purposely
fuck
try
shit
to
up.
Fuck shit up in your airplane. But of course the actual the term was more like someone else's fuck up, like a Melvin working on a plane. And well, if
you fuck something up, they'd be like, oh, it was a gremlin, right? Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, so it would be like, oh yeah, it wasn't the repairman, it was a fucking gremlin. So this movie quite literally takes that concept, that one little speech.
That excuse does not still work, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it takes that one little speech from Gremlins and makes an 84-minute long movie out of it.
I'm trying to think of what else stuck out to me. I do like that they added there wasn't only the gremlin, but the entire time the Japanese are just after them. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's like a chase movie as well as like you were saying, it's like throw in sci-fi and then there's horror, also a baby.
Mm-hmm. It's like Baby's Day Out in space with gremlins.
Yeah. Baby goes flying.
Because let me tell you, Baby's Day Out in an airplane. That's exactly what happens here. And we'll get into that. But first off, and honestly, all of that is the only negative I want to say about it. But
yeah, I know what you're going to say too.
But there was a legitimate badass moment. How would I say it? There was a legitimate female power moment where
a fist pump.
Yeah, holy shit, yes, woman fucking rock. It was the moment where she says, I was just asking nicely, and then she fucks that plane up. That was
great. Yeah.
Oh yes.
That's what we did too. I mean, we were gasping and whatever the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, and it's great because up until that point, at least we know she's not lying. But up until that point, she's a bona fide badass. She has her big speech moment. She fucking breaks her finger and she bends it right back into place. So, and just that moment for me was like, all right, awesome. And then that is literally when the movie nosedives for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I guess before we get into that turning point, did you want to mention anything else?
I will say that I don't know if Chloe had acting classes between Carrie and this movie or something. I just feel like I believe her the whole time. I thought she was doing such a good job. That it was when you watch actors that are doing so great that you just kind of stop thinking of them as Chloe or whatever, That was happening to me. And I do really I think she pulled off for the very beginning of the movie, she's stands up for herself, but still kind of demure, very soft spoken. She doesn't try to fight too much. But then when they find out the secret, she does a flip to where she doesn't really give a fuck. She's just been putting on airs this whole time of being a little weak than normal.
Yeah. That's the one praise you got to give to her, is that she's believable in both roles. She's believable as the badass heroine with 200 hours of flight experience and combat, and then you also believe her as the woman who's legitimately just cares about her baby and wants to escape an abusive husband. And the line, "You don't know how far I'll go." I'm like, okay, all right,
That was good.
okay. But,
you're right. I don't know.
Yeah. But also, like, that for me was probably the most embarrassing line in the movie.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah, I guess let's get into it.
Okay.
You listen.
And I just got to the part in the movie where I know what you want to talk about with the baby, but...
I'm going to talk about Chloe first,
Okay.
Listen. If this were just a straight movie about literally a woman who has to deliver something super secret to somewhere else, and there's that moment where she says, I was just asking nicely, and she does that thing and then destroys the Japanese planes. We have our indie movie equivalent to No Man's Land Wonder Woman scene. Okay. And then I would have been like, okay, all right, I like it. And then suddenly she is welcomed by the crew, and she helps she helps them survive, and and then almost treat the box like a Pulp Fiction thing. We don't know what's in it. We just know that she finishes her mission. She gives the box to someone, and we never know what it was. And suddenly the movie ends with the respect of this crew. They give her that nod, like, hey, we could have died, but you legitimately saved us. Sorry, we're being assholes. Okay, that actually sounds a little cheesy, but, imagine that. All-female power movie, World War II, despite the historical inaccuracies, which we'll get into again. But no, we get into what can only be described as the Looney Tunes cartoon that the opening scene presented to us. Because, boy, howdy, does some ridiculous shit happen.
From that point on, yes I agree.
And
it's just a matter of, can you go along with it for the entertainment?
I know. It's suspension of disbelief. It's a movie about a fucking gremlin and a World War II bomber. I get it. But the movie set this up to be... It set the rules. It set the rules for what is acceptable in realism and what isn't. So for me, the first half of the movie, before the movie just goes completely batshit insane, pun intended, I felt that's what it was. It was like a realistic bomber war movie, horror movie in a plane, where the realism was set, and now this monster just flips the card on everyone, and now suddenly the realism it's still there, but now there's a monster thrown into the mix. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
But now it's like the ante gets blown up, literally, and suddenly, apparently, it's possible for people to walk out on the outside of a plane as it's flying.
And breathe fine and not fly out and not freeze over.
Mm-hmm. Because they're high. They already mentioned enough that they're high up in the stratosphere. So it's like...
And they're flying super fast. And I mean, there's the gremlin with the baby. The hilarity ensues moment where where it's like, is the baby going to fall off the pipe of the plane?
Yes.
Okay, that was already like, okay, I'm going with it because this is kind of funny as well. Like, it's so bonkers that I can't not look at it. Mm-hmm. The moment that was too much for me, and I'm like, you did not need to do that, was when she falls out of the fucking plane, and whatever it was, I forget, explodes, and she gets blown back into the plane.
Yes!
Well, planes, gravity, and physics don't work that way, because if she had fallen, she would have been miles behind the plane by that, before any explosion could have helped.
And if she wasn't, then she would have been blown to pieces by that explosion, because I hate to say it, but planes explode outward, and planes have a lot of mechanics in them. So
true. So she would have also been riddled with whatever flew up with her.
That moment, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I literally said, "I had like, okay."
But then, would we be so outraged if this was a blockbuster and that happened to Tom Cruise?
You see,
if that's in the Mission Impossible movie, I feel like there are many, many, many things that we give what is the word? Give him some slack for, because it's Tom Cruise and that's the whole thing, right? It's just huge, obnoxious action.
Mm-hmm. However,
so why is it so hard for us to accept in this one?
Because Tom Cruise actually was on the outside of a plane and he was not breathing very well.
Okay, that was that was the bad. Okay, The Rock. Okay, The Rock.
Yeah, except
he does obnoxious shit all the time.
Yeah.
And you know,
I already have it lined up. Fast and the Furious movies already set themselves up to be ridiculous, over the top action movies. I'm sorry, this movie set itself up to be taken seriously, and then when scene happens like that, it took me out, but it didn't pull me out all the way. This wasn't a Wonder Woman 1984 using temp score music, you know. This was like it was fucking ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But see, now that's where the film the first half is what helped that, because despite being how ridiculous it was, despite the fact that she was crawling on the outside of a plane to rescue a baby from a gremlin, I cared for her.
See, that's the thing, is I at least cared about what was happening to her. What was happening was ridiculous, and I realized pretty early on she wasn't going to die, but when she was in peril, I was frightened for her.
Yes. So I won't forgive the movie for the line, "You don't know how far I'll go." For me, that line should have been cut. It's like we didn't.
What would you have put in place of it? What if she was like, "You don't know how far a mother would go," or something like that?
No, even worse. Even worse.
Okay.
It literally, she didn't need to say anything. All she needed to do was do it. Her actions what she did spoke louder than her words. She didn't need to say, "You don't know how far I go." I get it. Yeah, you're a woman. You're strong.
I wonder if there were many takes of that with different lines.
Fuck you, you fucking gremlin. I don't know.
Yes, fuck you, or "We'll see about that."
Yeah.
Or "A mother's work is never done."
Oh my gosh. You know, see, no matter what line you put in there, I don't care if it's the most badass line in cinematic history, you know? Mm-hmm. There shouldn't have been a line there.
Taking out the trash.
God, no. No. Just think about it. You know, she sees the baby, it's going to fall, and then she says a line. Okay, all right. But now imagine it without the line. She sees it, and just with the sheer determination and maybe
the look in her face.
Yeah, and just
one
with
tear.
like one ferocious womanly roar, and she jumps out of that cockpit and she goes and gets her baby.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
Sure. Okay,
but
I guess.
No, let's have a plane blow up as she's falling out and she gets blasted back into the plane.
I mean, I can't give an excuse for it. I can barely defend it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the movie wrapped around those corny, ridiculous parts was at least good enough so that I didn't immediately turn it off.
Yeah, no, exactly. And plus, I didn't want to turn it off because I paid $30 for it. So I'm like, I will finish this movie.
That's true.
So, but you know, and I bet a lot of people who are going to listen to this are like, "Oh, well, you just hate fun movies." Like, no, I love fun movies, but fun movies set the tone in the beginning of the movie.
Although I do think it's kind of funny that you give certain caveats to other short, like usually with low budget movies, you're very forgiving of even stuff like that. Mm-hmm. For some reason, a woman-led low budget movie is just too ridiculous. You heard it here, folks. Harissa is Harrison's drag name. Harissa,
girl.
Harrison's misogynist who hates women.
Oh, I hate women.
And
women
Chloe
just
Grace Moretz.
aren't good filmmakers. No, this is a terrific movie.
Patty Jenkins.
I
have problems with her though, for real.
We'll hear our thoughts about her next week.
Let's trash more female filmmakers.
Honestly, this movie could have been directed by a man and had the same lines, and it would have still said the same thing. So
You're right.
You know, women strive to be. Yeah, women strive to be treated equally, and this is me treating your film equally than that of a man. So
good comeback. Comeback.
But you know, it's crazy because I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. I think that it's funny because it was the opposite feeling for you in regards to running time. It is only 84 minutes. That's a short movie. But while watching it, I actually, it didn't feel like 84 minutes. I felt it was a bit longer. So
the part that was long for me was like after she heard her beau or whoever, someone get shot out of the top gun turret. And then there's just nothing but infighting, and she's just picturing like the men all surrounded in black with just like blue or green and red light. That part was getting a bit too abstract for me, and I was like, if you don't have the budget, just use the audio or something, and we can imagine something horrible.
No, I like that. I actually really like that. The fact that it was kind of like in her mind, and she was like imagining it, and we, that would be a situation of Buried.
Okay.
So I like that we cut to like just like a void.
I also think there was too many characters.
Oh yeah, I lost track. I think the Irish or the Scottish guy, the captain and the boyfriend, and Nick Robinson, because he's Nick fucking Robinson.
I kept thinking the one one would get killed, and I'd be like, I think that was her boyfriend, and then it wasn't, and then the next guy would be killed, and I'm like, oh fuck, that was him.
Yeah, which I think there's a lot of movies like that where it's like, wait, who died?
It's like that? Just a cabin of white men that all look the same.
Well, no, they were American. No, they weren't. Not all of them were American, but there was one.
Were white. There was one Somalian.
Yeah, Maori. New Zealand, yeah. Or was he Somalian?
Well, New Zealand, they're Kiwis.
Yeah.
But wasn't he Somalian?
Oh no, I think he was a native to New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying he looks like a lot of those stuntmen from the Lord of the Rings, and they were mainly Maori people. So
Orc number 5,
Orokai number 17, Gondorian number 69.
How can you forget number 69?
the legendary Rohan Rider 13. But yeah, there was a point where I was like, okay, it wasn't until after that the ridiculous explosion back into the plane moment, which could actually be compared to the Legolas moment in Battle of the Five Armies.
In every Legolas moment, in every in the Hobbit movies.
Yeah. So, but after that, I think I that's when it's like, okay, it transformed into this movie. I just have to deal with it. So I was okay with them
sit
surviving.
in this gun turret.
Yeah, I was okay with them, surviving a plane crash, and they pulled a flight moment where they inverted the plane.
I thought that was fun. I mean,
yeah,
the moment it went from okay, we're gonna crash, and we saw all that. That is when it picked up again. That whole 15-minute section where it's just bonkers is a lot to take in. But I get over it once, like you said, okay, well, we're here. They're going to crash. We just got to go with it and see what happens. And it kind of picked up for me again at that moment.
And I'm maybe you can help me through this, because I don't know if I liked the ending. I want to say I did, but essentially what happens is that they crash land. They get onto the beach, and there's 4 survivors.
Fucking baby's on the pipe right now, so irritating.
Huh?
That part was just the baby on the pipe.
Yeah.
Or whatever was on the... Sorry, that part's on right now, and I'm just like, this is pretty...
ridiculous. Yeah. You don't know how far I'll go.
And that gremlin is evil. He's like...
He might as well have been like...
Yeah.
I don't know about the ending. I mean, ultimately, they crash
Which
land.
Part?
Huh?
Which part of the ending?
Like the ending, like the last 5 minutes ending. Like basically, yeah, they crash land, and they shot the bat out the plane, but it's still alive. It grabs the baby, right?
I thought that was a different one, or was that the same one? And it crashed into the...
It was the same one. It's got to be, because no other bat would be like, fuck this baby.
You're right. No, it grabbed her boyfriend.
Oh, right.
And that's when she was like, we have to have a fist fight with the gremlin.
Yeah, she fucking fist fights this gremlin. And I did like the way she killed it, though.
That was cool. I mean, it was just like the audacity of this, but also replace her with any other male action star. Of course, the main action star has to fight the bad guy at the end. Like, before the ending, there has to be a big fight out. And why not this mother?
Yeah.
Fighter pilot. Liar.
Yeah, and I could definitely tell, yes, girl power here, because she fucking slaughters this gremlin, and she casually walks over to her baby and
Breastfeeds it. See, that moment was kind of weird for me, and I know they were trying to say something. It should have been a very powerful message, and I do feel bad that this movie came out. I feel bad for Chloe that this movie came out during the pandemic, when most people are going to see it on VOD, if at all. I mean, barely any marketing. I feel like that might be a hurrah moment for some people.
Yeah.
Like a certain amount of audience, but for the people who are stuck at home watching this, gay men, it is kind of like, it's kind of awkward. I guess. Like, what are you trying to say, basically? You can be a mom and also a badass?
Yeah, you can be a mom and a gremlin killer.
I've seen Aliens.
Yeah. There would that would just be as weird. That would be like Ripley saving her, and then, like, before she goes
breastfeeding Newt at the
before
end.
she puts her in hypersleep, she's like, "Here, Newt, you look hungry.
Suckle.
Suckle
Also-
on my zipple."
Shut the fuck up. I did think the fist fight in the water looked very closely to the last scene in The Last of Us Part 2, or the last fight scene in The Last of Us Part 2. I was like, this seems familiar. I don't know. I just got that look for me, the glassy water surface.
Not as heartbreaking, but
No, not as heartbreaking. It doesn't carry the same weight, I should say. You don't feel bad for the gremlin.
yeah. I don't know if I like. I feel like I should like it because of the message it was trying to say, but I also don't like it because
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And uncomfortable. And I just don't see Chloe Grace Moretz there yet, so I just didn't want to see her breastfeeding.
Yeah, and it's
I don't
not
know.
a plight against breastfeeding, because breastfeeding is natural.
No, it was
It's
just an awkward way to end after this fight out where she viciously stabs the creature's own claw into its neck and rips it out, to then immediately go and take her breast out and start breastfeeding, and you end on this very godlike, Mother Nature type. She has this. She's tearing up. She's made it. Her baby's feeding. Light is everywhere. It was just a very
The film
preachy.
The film answered it. The film answered her question. That's how far she'll go.
Then she. Okay, what if at that moment she went,
That's how far I'll go. Oh God. Then I
or
would.
this is how far, and strokes her baby.
Then.
Or when she kills the gremlin, goes, that's how far.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's
Also, brilliant idea.
okay.
To give it some kind of moral, ambiguity. I don't know. If she kills it and then turns, and on the beach is a nest of baby gremlins. And she actually just killed
The mother.
another mother trying to just take care of her own babies.
You just made it way more interesting.
And then it just ends with her looking, not breastfeeding, just looking at these babies. And boom, end.
How far?
Is she any better than the gremlin?
Yeah, and it's the gremlins can only eat plain parts.
And babies?
Yeah, so it's
what are you going to do? They were going to starve.
If this movie had monster subtitles, I bet you one of the lines was said, translated,
Take care
you know how
of
far
my
I'll go,
babies."
bitch?
No, it would be take care of my babies.
Shit. See, I like that. I don't know if I would have liked it. I don't know, but just in context now, I probably would have preferred that. But no,
Also, it's just so ridiculous.
This is horrible either way. I think it would have been way worse had she said that's how far I'll go.
That's how far.
Yeah. But
Mama, bring home the bacon. Say something like that.
just stop.
I still think a mother's work is never done would have been the line.
Well, in this
Come to mama.
I just no.
Okay. Okay, the scene just happened where she got blown out, and it looks fucking terrible. Like, really looking at it this time, I forgot how fucking far she fell down, like a million stories, and then got blown back up. It also, just the effects don't look good on her face. It looks like it's just a still image of her going, and then like getting like zoomed in to make it look like she's flying up.
Yeah, that's just when I gave up on the movie. That's
I would have cut that one.
Yeah.
It didn't need it. She could have... It would have been better if the creature tore a hole in the plane and pulled her in or something. Like, you know...
Ooh, there you go.
The realism, I guess.
There you go. Said it. Yeah, just... You know, and then... But then you have to ask, like, how then would she get out of that little cockpit, you know?
I mean, I guess you still kind of have to have the save the baby from the pipe, you know, like that's hanging on the thing. But maybe after she saves the baby, I don't know, it rips her in, it pulls her in. That little, because she like sits in a hole for a second. Somehow there's all these like sitting spaces underneath the planes. She's sitting there. I don't know, maybe the gremlin's in there and something.
Yeah. But no.
Also, she's breathing perfectly fine, and the baby is totally not dead.
Yeah, after all of that. The baby is not dead. It survived the plane crash. It survived.
It's just really high.
Yeah.
Because apparently they gave it meds, right?
Yeah, they gave it meds to put it out.
So it's having a great time.
It's like, oh, man, this baby's... Well, it's not going to remember any of it all, but like...
Mom, I have memories of being in a box and jangling around, but feeling really good.
Julie, baby, you don't know exactly how far I went for you. They know, but
I told you some of the story. But maybe not all of it.
Well, I think I've said everything I want to say about it.
I think I have as well.
Okay. One thing I do want to say, and again, I do love... No, I actually really love it.
The gremlin looks good.
Oh, yeah. The visual effects
I'll give
of
him
the gremlin
that. The
look
gremlin
great.
looks really good.
Yeah, the gremlin looks great. Fantastic. You can definitely tell that either, you know, when a digital kind of gave him a discount to be like, okay, yeah, we'll do it for you.
You can use our After Effects.
Yeah, we won't charge you the full amount. Or maybe they did, and, you know, that's where all the budget went to. And it still looks great.
I feel like that's where all the budget went to, and that's why some of the effects look really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just paying for
with
Chloe.
The monster looks great, so.
Yeah.
But one thing I really love is the music.
Yes, I did as well. I really liked the music. I'm sad there's not an official soundtrack for some reason.
Yeah, because it was only coincidental that you said you were wanting to look for it and that you tried to look for it, that I pulled up that link on YouTube, because there's a 16-minute suite available on YouTube of music from this movie.
A 16-minute?
Yeah.
Oh.
I
think I listened to the wrong one.
Oh, no, it was a link I sent you.
I remember you sent me the link, and then I think I was dumb and just searched, forgetting that you were the one who sent me the link, and so I listened to a 5-minute one.
Oh, no, yeah, no, there's a 16-minute one, yeah.
Well, now I'm going to listen to that one. Sorry, Harrison.
That could be the whole thing. I don't know. But music I loved. It was not a traditional score. It was synthesized.
Synthwave. It was like a 80s synthwave soundtrack.
But it worked.
Worked really well. I noticed immediately when the music started playing, like, okay, I can dig this at least. And I listened to at least that 5-minute track, and it's good. It's definitely a soundtrack I could listen to separate from the movie as well.
Yeah. And I remember I did comment on that video. I said, man, I really wish this got a release. And I got a single like from the uploader. I wonder what that means.
They have it and they're not just not spilling it.
I mean, I feel this is obscure enough to get like a vinyl release, you know?
I mean, come on, an EP, not an EP, what is it? Just like a, what's the word where there's like a small version of a soundtrack where they only include like
a single?
The best tracks. No, it's like for awards.
Like a for your consideration?
Yeah, for your consideration sometimes. Or I've seen where they have like 5 main tracks from the movie or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'll take that, you know? But I guess, you know, I'm okay with what we have, I guess, for now. But
yeah, one day.
Day.
We'll keep pushing them, though. Maybe they'll come out with one. When it becomes a cult classic, that's...
Yeah, you see, we found tracks for Connoisseur and Sweet Home. We can find tracks for Shadow in the Clouds.
Shadow in the Cloud.
Yeah.
Cloud. I did see that today. It's Shadow in the Cloud.
Shadow in the Cloud.
Because it's just the one shadow
in the one cloud. Jinx. Well, all right then. Shall we get into closing thoughts?
Yes. I think you should start.
Should I start? Okay.
I think you should start this time.
So, I thought it was a really, really solid. The first half of this movie was really solid. I really, really liked it. Again, the expectations were a little high, actually, because, you know, it's ever so rarely that Toby says a movie with Chloe Grace Moretz in it is really good. So that's why I jumped on it. Paid $30, which I don't regret, but I kind of partially regret. I would have bought it for like maybe $9. And you know, the reason why I bought it was because to rent it was like $24.
So you might as well, right? And it didn't even come with special features. I was hoping when I looked on the Voodoo thing, it would be there, and I'm like, no commentary for this.
No,
movie.
I'm gonna get so pissed if there's a home video release of this, and it's just
there's gonna be like
video.
a mega special edition, ultra 5-disc,
Yeah.
full soundtrack. Extended edition.
You just explained the Dawn of the Dead collection that I want.
5 hours of extra footage. It's literally the 5 hours of her actually sitting in the plane. Because you know they time jump. There's no way they're only in the plane for like the 80 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And plus, they have all the alternative kill lines. Or not the kill lines. You know, that line.
Yeah, and maybe all the final endings or alternative endings.
And why not? Throw an isolated score in there. So basically saying I don't think it's worth the $29-$30 I paid for it digitally. So I don't know, wait for it to go on sale, or Toby
question would you have been okay going to the movies and seeing this? Like if you had gone to the theater and saw this, would you have left upset or disappointed, or would you have been okay?
I should have went to the movie to see this because to buy a ticket was way cheaper than $28 fucking.
Yes, true. True, you could have.
It's screening at some Harkins theaters here, and I would have went to the matinee, which is only $7 versus $30.
Now, let's say this was something we had all planned to go. You know, me, you, and maybe some friends, and we'd gone to see this on a Friday night.
You know, this movie feels like it would have been like that release at the Alamo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So had, we gone as a huge group, I feel that we would have shared our thoughts on the matter like we are now outside on the bench for like an hour. Like a Joker-esque thing like we did when me, you, and Coy went to go see it, remember? We sat outside the IMAX theater and we're all
times.
like, well. So I would have still... Oh, God, hold on. I'm watching it too, and she's falling.
See, no, I'm already. They're already crashing the plane where I'm at.
Oh my God, horrible! She fell like 30 feet.
She did.
That my facial expression was that man looking at her when she flew back into the car. I was like, what the fuck?
Me and Brian were also like, when the gremlin like faces her, I wanted her to be like, Carrie powers, and just like it stops midair, and she's like manipulating it. She lifts the plane.
Why not?
Why not? It's Carrie's grandma.
Yeah, Carrie's grandma.
Shared universe.
Yeah, it just falls apart for me in the second act.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things I can forgive for some movies, but
I know it.
But that's just because those movies set themselves up to be that way. You know.
You're right.
So this movie doesn't set itself up to have that scene in there to be taken seriously.
Okay, I agree. I do agree with you.
So
I think that was on purpose. I do think they set out to subvert expectations, like start with something and kind of lull you into what you think the movie is, and then bam, switch it. It's just that what they switched it to, unfortunately, was a bit too much of a flip, I guess.
They did two of them. They did two subverting whatever.
The first one was good.
Yeah.
The first one was good.
It's a mystery. Like, why is she there? Who was in the box? Okay. That's why she's there. That's why she's in the box. Okay, I can buy that. A desperate mother trying to save her life and her babies. Oh, my God, I love it. Oh, one of the guys on the plane, that's the baby's father. Okay, all right. Then just...
Oh, she's on the wing now.
Yeah, I bought the monster. I believe the monster. I believe that it was there. But it just there's a moment where it lost me, and I hate that it lost me because I was so into it, but it lost me, and then and then it became silly visuals when it really shouldn't have been silly, over the top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can see your point. I can definitely see your point.
But it is, and now I don't know if I'll ever actually rewatch it because it's playing on the TV right now. But I don't think I'll ever be like, I feel like rewatching Shadow in the Cloud. But
I would show it to someone.
Absolutely. I think I would. Yes. But now knowing what it's going to turn into, I can anticipate it, and then I could just be like, she got blown back into the plane.
Yeah.
She's crawling on the underbelly of a plane and she's breathing, She just fist fought a giant matching rat monkey bat thing.
I'm fine with that one. I feel like they needed to have a face-off woman to woman. In my mind, it was a mother gremlin.
Yeah, I actually really...
Headcanon.
I would really love the fact... I would love it if it was like a moral thing. Where maybe she's about to do the killing blow and the bat's backing off and you realize that it's backing off towards a bush or something.
Babies.
And then you just see a nest of these things and you just and she realizes that, what if I become, I don't know.
And she drops the knife and she takes out a gun and is like, she makes the mom watch her kill its babies and then lets the mom go.
Wow. That's
just
that's what we got a Kill Bill Volume 1 thing going on here.
And then the baby gremlins have to go after her, her baby when they grow up.
And then the sequel will be called Shadows in the Clouds.
That baby is Phoebe Cates from Gremlins, and this is the Gremlins' ancestors. And so
wow. You see, that's how random this movie is. It took a concept...
That really could have been what it is. That's how random it is.
It's crazy, right? Because, 1940, that happened in the 80s, so 40 years old, I don't know. Maybe it was Billy's mom.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. 40s.
Sure, Billy's mom.
But, that's how random it was. It was it took a concept, just a line from Dick Miller, those gremlins, they get in the planes, they mess up your planes. It would have been as random as someone making a movie about the Abraham Lincoln story from the same movie.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So, Toby, what did you think about Shadow in the Cloud?
I have all of the same reservations as you. I can see all of your points, so none of them, I'm not mad at any of your critiques. I can, I see them as well. Mm-hmm. I think the only thing that differed was that I could let go of my suspension of disbelief, I guess. Once I realized what it was going to be, I just accepted it. Also, it was I think a movie I had to watch at a particular time, as far as the daytime and mood. Me and Brian wanted to watch something fun, random. We had some wine, smoking, having a great time, and it just, for that type of chill night, that movie fit really well with our expectations, I think. And so I was just having so much fun watching it in that atmosphere that I just let go. I didn't watch it with the eye that I would be reviewing it. Mm-hmm. So that all being said, I really like this movie. I think I like it so much because it was a pleasant surprise, and I rarely see a movie that I don't know anything about. And then I was also pleasantly surprised with Chloe Grace Moretz, who like I said, cannot stand. Don't know why. I kept being why the fuck they keep casting her? She's terrible. And then in this movie, I think that was the biggest thing for me, was she's really good. I finally really like her. Interested to see what she's going to do next. Kind of sad that this movie isn't going to be as big as maybe it might have been. Maybe if it came, some more recognition, a sequel maybe.
Yeah.
Also, she's beautiful. She's beautiful in this movie. Yeah. The way she's done up, I think she looks like a movie star. So, I think it's a great movie. I think it's a fun, B movie, and it comes with, if anything, will surprise you. Mm-hmm. Whether those surprises are good, it's a good surprise or not, it'll at least be a movie where what you're expecting to happen is not gonna happen. And that's what I'll say about that.
And I should reiterate that now I will be able to,
stop hating women. I hope so.
That too. Now I'll be able to suspend my disbelief with this movie. So
Okay.
just
Yeah.
knowing what it becomes,
Just
I'll be like, okay, this is that movie.
Me and Harrison entered the movie differently.
Mm-hmm. And I would even say high expectations was the thing, but it was there. Just something was there. Yeah.
I did to you what you do to me.
Oh.
Which is, this movie's fucking amazing. You're not going to believe anything that happens. Just you wait, Knives Out. Gonna blow your mind. You're never going to see this coming. And I was so lackluster. It was such a lackluster experience for me. I kept thinking, like, when's it going to get good? And then it didn't.
Oh, see, now that breaks my heart because I really love Knives Out.
I love Knives Out. Now, after letting that whole expectations go, I do think it's a really good movie and take back what I said at first. But that does have an effect, and I'm sorry that I did this to you.
Yeah, and since then I have just stopped whenever I see a movie and Toby asks, like, or if and ever he asks me, I usually just tell him what a movie's like. I always just give a casual, like, yeah, it was good. It was good.
Now, because you just don't...
Yeah, when deep down inside, I'm like, oh my god, Toby, it's the most amazing movie I've ever seen in my life. You're going to love it.
Dude, she legit fist fights the gremlin.
Yeah, oh, you're on that part now?
They're like legit fist fighting. It looks beautiful. The water's great.
Yeah, they're crashing the plane right now, but
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really quick before we end it, did you like Chloe's accent? Did you think she did a good job with the accent at first?
I knew
I actually did.
Yeah, no, I actually really did too. But kind of knowing that she's American, anyways, I kind of knew that. Okay, well, she's acting, meaning character is.
Yeah, I wondered if she was going to continue with it the whole movie, but then, of course, you find out she's a fucking fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, describe this movie completely wrong.
Completely wrong?
Yeah, it's like a fraud cons her way onto an airplane and crashes it.
It's like a happier United 93.
Two lovers on a crash course.
Yes, there we go. Hack fraud lies her way into aircraft, kills everyone on board.
Yes, hack fraud. That's the one. I want that to be the synopsis. I'm going to put that on Wikipedia.
There you go. That'll be our synopsis for this episode's description.
It's also a powerful movie about a woman escaping abuse.
Yeah. I think I've seen other movies do it better, but I guess why not go fist to fist with the gremlin demon bat? Out of 5 gremlin hooks, how many gremlin hooks do you give Shadow in the Cloud?
I'm giving this 5 out of 5. No. It's a 3.5 for me. It's on the level as trying to think of Red Eye. Mm-hmm. I love the movie Red Eye, but it is a very okay movie. It's a good movie, and that's that. But I do find it enjoyable to rewatch. I feel like this movie's kind of on that level.
Mm-hmm.
It's not amazing. It's amazing as in it's going to change the genre. It doesn't really do anything too different, but they have enough different in it to make it an enjoyable rewatch. For me, I think it is rewatchable at least. Entertainment. So I think 3.5 is fine, and I give a lot of the credit to Chloe Grace. I'm sorry, Miss Grace, whatever your name is, Chloe Grace.
And were this any other normal year last year, I think it would have rocked at film festivals.
I do. Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think
South
people
by
would have
Southwest, Fright Fest, absolutely.
They might have done what I did to you, which is like hype us up more than maybe it might. Once we finally saw it. Also, I think if it was any other time, we would know everything about them. The trailer would have shown everything. We would know by the time we saw the movie, we'd know how it ended. So
this is definitely an Alamo release.
Yeah.
But
that's it. That's what I got to say.
Perfect. I give Shadow in the Cloud 3 gremlin hooks out of 5.
Just gotta stick that knife in.
Yeah, I'm not gonna twist it though. I'll spare it that pain, but it definitely got stabbed by me. But who knows? Never say never. Maybe I will rewatch it, and maybe I will show someone.
I think you are gonna rewatch it, and I think I'm gonna get a text sometime middle of the night. I was wrong, Toby. I was so wrong. We were so wrong.
I'm still waiting for that text from you on The Relic.
I was not wrong about that movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. The score for The Relic.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I like the relic, but
Yeah,
sure, I'm
there's
just gonna
music
go
for the
along with
relic.
it. Yeah, that score sucked.
It felt like Cobra Kai, except without the awesome character development of season 1. I don't know if you finished season 3. Have you?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, like super fast.
oh yeah, I barely finished that yesterday, and by the end of season 3, a lot of shit happened that I had to let go a lot of logic with.
Like the Kill Bill fight in a mansion with a
Yeah.
bunch of teenagers. Like, how is this happening?
The fact that there were
It
legal
was cool.
repercussions for the high school fight scene, and there's none for a literal house invasion.
Invasion.
Yeah.
Like home invasion. I mean, that was pretty rough and it was super violent. But that'll be for another. The final gays talk. Cobra Kai.
So, the reason why I forgave it is because, again, I'm heavily invested in all of those characters. Robbie cannot get a break.
No.
So this movie suffers from that without the character development. Without me not. I mean, I cared a little bit, but I only ever cared about Chloe.
Yeah. I didn't give a fuck about the baby.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit about the baby. I didn't give a shit about the boyfriend. The boyfriend was a little shit. I feel he's just going to be an abusive husband regardless.
Number 2, notice we barely talked about the men.
Yeah, the men.
At all, because they don't mean anything to the movie.
Cute.
They were fine, except for, baldy ginger dude, but the rest were fine.
Yeah, that guy reminded me of like
He was such an asshole.
What's his face from The Green Mile? He died.
Oh, what was fucking terrible before we stop? We need to stop talking this, but what pissed me off was that dude was a total asshole to her the whole time. Like, didn't give a fuck it was a baby when they found out it was a baby. And then his last words are, only the baby matters, or its life is all that matters. And then gets dragged out of the plane. I was like, since when?
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm going to die. I need to get some extra points with heaven.
Mm-hmm. He knew. And, of course, Nick Robinson survived.
Again, why wasn't he the boyfriend? Like, a bigger name, at least.
Yeah, because Nick Robinson was a little piece of shit.
He was a piece of shit, too. They all were. To be fair, they all were.
I mean, of course he survived, because he got the sob story with the sweetie back home,
Yeah.
But, that was eye rolling. I'm like, well, he's going to survive,
He's the cutest.
So it's like, yeah. It's funny, though. There's a lot to love about this movie, but...
And there's a lot to pick apart.
Yeah, but you see,
drunk commentary.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. Oh, we would see so much shit right now with that.
I was just thinking, me watching it now and you watching it, it'd be so simple to do a commentary now.
Because we'd have to just sync it perfectly, which could be done.
Yeah.
But it's just there is a lot to love about it, but it must be appreciated for the B- monster movie it strives to be in the second act.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do not get any hint of it being that kind of movie in the first act, in the first half. So, I mean, nice try. What's her name? Roseanne Liang, which she comes from a hardcore indie background. The first movies she made were based on her life being a Asian immigrant in New Zealand. So
cool.
I can respect that, and it's not a horrible movie. It's engaging. It's fun. Controversial too. It was not scary, and I really don't think it should have been talked about. But because of the content, I really wanted to talk about it. So it gets a pass from me in that sense. But
I'll say, you're right. It wasn't scary, but neither was Get Out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
which we didn't cover technically, but
also because of those technicalities, we didn't. It's 90% action and 10% horror. So
yeah.
But yeah, there you go. Shadow in the Cloud. All right. Well, thanks for listening to us discuss Shadow in the Cloud. You can find us on all the social medias. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and if you want to follow us on YouTube, we're also there. You can also listen to us on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, as well as YouTube for the videos. And we don't have websites, so fuck off websites. Anything else? I mean, we've decided we're going to be, or at least I decided. I think I kind of like sharing fan posters. We've actually
I do too, because there's some amazing.
Oh yeah.
I find a lot of the times fan posters are so much better than the actual, marketing team's posters that are made for. I know they have to appeal. They have to like hit certain check marks, to catch people's eye. But I mean, the one you posted for us, amazing. Like,
and there's going to be 3 more of those posters coming out this week for that. So, we got a lot of great responses. We actually had more reactions to the fan art poster than just a post with the regular poster art. So.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, I love that to use those and maybe showcase some fans, some people, artists.
Absolutely. So, so follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Again, we're trying to do Twitter, but I honestly kind of just forget about it sometimes.
So do I. It'll happen. It'll happen. I know if we ever sat down with like a marketing firm to like help us, they'd be like, okay, you're on everything but Twitter, the one thing that's going to get you some, I don't know. I feel like Instagram, a lot of podcasts that I listen to, their Twitters are always dormant as well. It's always Instagram.
Okay, so we're not alone. I'm okay about that. So,
well,
yeah, follow us on all of that. Until then, my name is Harrison.
And I'm Toby.
And we are the Final Gaze. Alrighty, welcome. No, that was way too much.
Alrighty.
I don't know why I said alrighty. Here we go. Bought it. I watched it.
Oh my god, wait. Shit, hold on. I'm so sorry.
What happened?
Nothing. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, how dare you? Oh my god. Bitch, I'm trying to tell this fucking story right now.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.